Hi, my name is Alex Veen from the discipline of Work and Organizational Studies, and I want to share with you some of my experiences with the switch to online learning. So, as a lot of you have experienced, it's quite a bit of a steep learning curve, but I guess if we do it well, it can also be a very enjoyable sort of reconfiguration of learning and teaching for students. And that's been the experience that we've had in some of our units. Work 3600, IR and HR in practice, one of our capstone units in particular, whereby we were able to still provide students with a highly authentic, experiential and problem-based learning experience, but completely delivered in an online format. So how I've stayed connected with my students is through the use of the regular sort of tools that are available to us, like Canvas. But one that I have found particularly helpful myself as a unit of study coordinator is a platform called SRES. And it allows you to tailorize communications to students, and this includes any emails that you send to them, allowing you to address them by their preferred names and making some individual sort of adjustments in the way that the messages are sent to different students within the cohort. It is also a great tool for providing more individualized feedback to students. So in terms of changing the content and the nature of my courses, what I found was that effectively my hand was being forced by one of our industry partners who informed us that we were no longer able to do an activity on their premises as a result of the COVID-19 crisis. And it effectively allowed us to reconfigure the way in which we organized our workshops. And the way that I have used Zoom is creating it in, setting it up in such a way that we can have students jumping in and out of different Zoom meetings, so that there's like a general classroom where they can meet and talk with the academic staff, but if they want to sort of jump out and work in their groups, they go to a different Zoom meeting. I found that this works slightly better in this particular unit's content and format than some of the breakout room functions. Our innovations haven't been really that drastic, but one of the things that I have found in particular is that for a unit that has a very high exposure to an involvement of industry, that one of the things that you spend quite a bit of time doing is training up your teaching staff, but also your practitioners. So most weeks I spend a few hours going over the Zoom platform with the practitioners, informing them how about we would run the various workshops. The experience that I've had is that just making things a little bit simpler than you would normally do is probably the best way to go in the online environment, and also creating some more opportunities for students to sort of do some trials with, for instance, assessment. So we build in a few non-assessed presentation opportunities before the students actually had to do their marked presentation in front of a practitioner audience. And again, it helped them to gain some confidence with how Zoom worked, how to deal with any sort of emerging issues. And overall, it's resulted in a great experience. Some of the challenges have really been some of the additional workload associated with the switch to online, and just making sure students understand what's happening in terms of assessments and how to sort of understand new deadlines. And I found as a coordinator, I've tried to be as flexible and accommodating as I could be this semester, just sort of also take into consideration that our students have a lot going on, not just in relation to university, but in their private lives as well. And I've had students coming forward to me who lost their jobs, who had to work in their family businesses. And so I think it's a time to show some compassion and generosity. And so the value in terms of experiences from this for a teaching and learning experience, I find that you can have a highly interactive and engaged sort of learning experience online, particularly using the chat function. For instance, if you're doing a live lecture, you can have much more personalized engagement with your classes than you would normally get in a large lecture theater. And overall, I think if you carefully think about the pedagogy and design of your units, you can still deliver a high value experience for our students. Thank you for listening.